Hey there! For quite some time I've been playing Dragonlink on and off, and today I just wanted to show you the three main builds that I am using right now if I play Dragonlink. So, starting off with this very basic Dragonlink build, so there's nothing special mixed together with it, so just pure Dragonlinks. So starting off for this, I play 2 Tracer and 2 Recharger with only 1 Synchron. The reason for that is I much rather have 2 Recharger to summon with the Tracer than having another copy of Synchron. That's just how I like to play it. You definitely can change that with playing 1 Recharger and 1 Synchron, but I think that I often run into situations where on my second turn I want to use Tracer again, but I don't have a Recharger to go for a Savage or a Chaos Ruler that I couldn't make first turn. So I thought playing 2 Recharger instead of 2 Synchron. Then for the best normal summon of the deck, 3 Safred. This card not only searches your white and black dragon, but it is also very nice to bait out an Ash with having Gamma in hand, because you just tribute yourself, and if they Ash that, you just Gamma there, and if they don't, you get access to one of those 2 guys, which is pretty nice. Then 2 Apps and 2 Nocto. I was cutting Nocto for some time, but I just think it is a very nice extender. It also draws you a card, so Nocto is pretty nice, especially if you draw the 1 copy of the Synchron. You can just special summon Nocto and go into Chaos Ruler from there, even though that does not come up all that often. Nocto as an extender does come up, and Apps is just, it is very nice to draw it, especially if you have Chaos Space, or you can use it for some other discard effect. And obviously you want to send it with the Dragon Ravine if you don't have access to Tracer, to special summon the Tracer later on. And also sometimes if you don't have anything better to go in, or if you just want follow up for your next turn, it is nice to summon out a second copy of the Epps for your Heretic Seal. Then the 2 baby dragons, the big guy, the Chaos Dragon Levianeer, and the Red Ice Darkness Metal Dragon. I'm not playing the small one in this build because I don't really have the space for it, and I don't really want to make the space for it. But Darkness Metal is definitely a card you need to play. Not only is the effect of it very good, but if this card basically lets you play through a Nibiru, because if they Nibiru you with the seals on board, you just summon out the Darkness Metal and go from there. So it is definitely a card you need to play in a deck. And then I play the 1 Aether, because this card, if you summon it with seals, will banish 1 card from your opponent, so it makes pretty much seal 2 interruptions. And then the Chaos Emperor, this is just a very nice card for the deck to have, especially since the card now is not a couple $100 like it was in the God Dragon format. So yeah, it's definitely nice to have. Then I play 1 Dragon Ravine, 1 Boot Sector Launch, nothing to say there. 1 Destrudo, because I play the Shooting Riser packets for Snow, and I definitely would play Token Collector in the side deck, because you would play Token Collector in the side deck, but it's also nice to send it going first against Adventure or Sword Soul decks. And then I play 1 Galactic Spiral Dragon. Why I play this card is because it is a level 8 that I can send if I don't need to send the apps with the Dragon Ravine, and I can special summon it later on to use the Ruler and this card to go into the Zombie Vampires. Having not only sending 5 cards from the deck, but sending 9 cards from the deck is pretty nice. So I just want to have 1 extender to do this more frequently. Then the 3 Chaos Space and the 3 Quick Launch, this is pretty standard. And then for hand traps, 3 Nibiru, 3 Effect Veiler, and 3 Gamma. Gamma is pretty nice. Those 2 you can search with the Chaos Ruler for additional negates on your opponent's turn. And then 3 Ash, that's pretty standard. For the extra deck, 1 Striker Dragon, 1 Pisti. This is one card that I always try to cut, but then I run into situations where I need Pisti, even in this build. And even if it is just for linking away a dragon that I want to link away. So I cannot really cut this card, even though it's a fact to special. A dragon from grave does not come up all that often. Still, if it can come up, it is very, very strong to do so. Then 2 seals. I know a lot of people are cutting this to 1. I don't really like doing that because first off, if games get grindier, having the second seal is very nice, and if they nib you, and you're only able to summon out the Darkness Metal Dragon and nothing else, you can at least always go into a second seal to have 1 or 2 interruptions through your opponent's turn. Then the 1 Romulus, the 1 Hulk. This is also a card that I try to cut in this deck, but Hulk helps a lot to play through interruptions from your opponent. The 1 Quad Boral Dragon, the 1 Dark Charmer, what is definitely a flex spot. You don't need to play this card. I just really, really like it because it is so easy to go in, and stealing a Jade out of my opponent's grave or any other dark monsters to then link further is pretty nice. 1 Access Code, just because it is Access Code, it's a good card. The new Boral Ant Dragon, this card is very, very amazing. Sometimes you can just end with the Boral Ant Dragon and a Savage, and that's a pretty nice board because this has a negate that they cannot interact with. It gives you follow-up, and it is a nice card to OTK because it can attack all monsters your opponent controls. The 1 Savage Dragon, this is pretty standard, like the 1 Chaos Ruler and the 1 Hot Red Dragon. Then I play 1 Shooting Riser. Like I said, I play the Destruro and the Fairytale Snow Engine, and with a good hand you can go into the Snow line throughout your combo. And then the 1 Zombie Vampire, this card is so sick in this deck. And yeah, let's go into the next build. Alright, so for the second build I have the 60 card Dragon Adventurer deck. This deck is just very nice because it uses the Adventure engine. It also can abuse the Rose Dragons. Yeah, here are pretty much the same Dragon engine. The only thing that I changed is to put in a 3rd Rocket Tracer, just because it is 60 cards and I still want to see the Rocket Tracer if I can, because it is just such a nice card, and it is always nice to be to have the Tracer in hand to play through interruptions, so that you, even if the apps gets negated or you don't make it to the line where you can send the apps, you still have Tracers some games. Then to recharge 1 Synchron again, I play the Black Metal Dragon. This is my replacement for the Seyfried as a normal summon, just because you cannot play Seyfried in this deck since you cannot use his effect. Then the 2 Baby Dragons with the 1 Leviania, the 2 Pendles that still stay the same. The same goes for the Darkness Metal Dragon that you summon a lot more often during your first turn, because when you start with the Black Metal Dragon, you just have the you just search out this card. And then the Rose Dragon engine, this is pretty nice because if you can make Hulk with the Griffin Rider on field, this card and this card can go into your Baron, and then you search out this and make your dragon plays from there. Going on, we have the 3 Chaos Space, the 3 Quick Launch, and the 2 Field Spells. Then we play the Adventure engine, the 1 Foolish. This is very nice because you can send a Water Enchantress or you can send an Ups. Then the 1 Called by the Grave and the 1 Brick. And then for hand traps we play just 3 Ash, and then all targets that we can add with the Chaos Ruler, so 3 Gamma, 3 Nip, 3 Effect Whaler, 3 Ghost Ogre, and 3 DD Crow. Ghost Ogre is not the worst card. It has some pretty nice and neat interactions against certain decks, even though it does not do all that much against Despia. Yeah, but it's just a light hand trap. So just being able to add a hand trap with the Chaos Ruler basically not all the time, but a lot of times, because we just play so many of them, is really nice. So before I will play something else instead of the ogre, I just add an ogre and just use it on whatever I can. Then for the extra deck is pretty much the same up to the point where we just changed up playing one Baron, because we can make it very easily in this deck, with everything else just staying the same. Okay, so the last deck might seem a little bit crazy. It is the Dragon Punk deck. So, well, at first this might seem a little bit crazy. Just being able to turn a emergency teleport into the full dragon combo without needing to commit your normal summon is just pretty nice. So for the dragon engine, we play still 3 Tracer. In this deck, I play 2 Rocket Synchron and 1 Recharger, and the reason why I go for 2 Synchrons here is because with the punks, you want to make either Ruler or Hulk, but if you make Hulk, you're then going to summon out one of your Synchrons that you will use for your dragon combos, and so just having a second Synchron to go into a Hot Red is pretty nice. Baby dragons, the 1 Levianeer, pretty standard, 1 Darkness Metal, 1 Destrudo with compared with the 1 Snow, because we still want to have the Snow line. And it is much easier to make in the stack, since we have the punks to go into the Hulk or the Chaos Ruler with just an E-tally, so we have a lot more things that we can do during our turn, so it is much more easy to just go into the Destrudo or just randomly milling it with a Chaos Ruler, or even just milling Snow, which is the best thing that can happen. Then yeah, with the Punk engine, it is pretty small. I just play 3 of the Sea Armin. The reason why I play 3 of them is just that I have the ability to just normal summon it and do the same thing without needing to use an emergency teleport if I don't have it. Then the 1 Foxy Tune and the 1 Deer Note, this is what you will always summon out with the Foxy Tune after searching it to be able to go into the Chaos Ruler, or just go into Hulk and play from there. Yeah, then 3 Quick Launch again, 3 Chaos Space, 2 Field Spells, and then for hand traps, just Gamma and Nibiru. The reason why I just play this is because I don't have all that much space in the deck for hand traps. So the hand traps that I wanted to play in the main deck, I just wanted to have high impact hand traps, and Gamma just feels nice because sometimes you can use it on your own turn, and that's a free Chaos Ruler. And during your opponent's turn, not only negating an effect, but also putting the card in the grave is very good. And Nibiru just hits so many decks right now. It doesn't hit Despia, but so many other decks, and the Despia deck you can deal with the cards that you have in your side deck, because it is very easy to side against them. So I just went to play Nibiru just to have an easier matchup against a lot of the decks that are running around in the meta right now. So for the extra deck, it is pretty much the same as the first one. I just play a triple burst here instead of the Dark Charmer. The reason for that is that is a dragon monster. It just needs 2 monsters, so I can use the punk cards if I have to turn them into a dragon that I can then use for my other cards that needs dragons. Yeah, 40 card list, nice and easy, nothing too crazy in here, but it is just, the deck is a lot of fun, and it can make some pretty nice boards, but just being able to turn an E-tally into a Chaos Ruler before you even go into your dragon combos, being able to discard an Abs with the Foxy Tune is pretty nice, and then just also being able to just summon out Hulk, summon a Rocket Synchron, and just do your normal dragon combos from there, and then just leave the Hulk on the field to make the Riser during your opponent's turn, sending the Snow. it's just pretty nice what the deck can do. Um, yeah, it's not that strong in the sense of it is not that consistent, and not that good against playing through interruptions like the other dragon decks are, because you have a pretty small dragon engine. You don't have the safer to search out your baby dragons, but it is a very fun build to play with the dragons, and it is something that I myself have not really seen a lot running around. So I definitely wanted to include it in this video just to show you a build you might want to try that you haven't really seen, because I think after this time, Dragon is a deck that is pretty much figured out, up to the point where a lot of deck lists are pretty much the same with just the change of some cards, and this deck just feels fresh and new as a take for how to play the Dragon Link deck. But with that, I will go ahead and end the video. If you liked it, just tell me in the comments below. If you want to try out any of those decks based on this video, I would be very happy. Also, make sure to tell me that. Consider liking this video. And with that, have a good one.